Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today's video, I just want to do like almost a little message, and I think it's important. I think a lot of people need to hear this, and it's just something that's been kind of not bothering me, but just on my mind a lot in the last month or a couple months or so. So first off, I've been following Nick Humphreys from Train Effective for pretty long. I mean, pretty much since day one or day two of the 100 Days to a Pro contract. I thought it was an amazing idea. I thought following along to do this is so undocumented everywhere, and it reminded me a lot of when I was chasing after a contract over in Germany. And I related to a lot of things, you know, the struggle, the grind, going from place to place, facing a lot of rejection. I connected a lot with that, and I thought it was a very, very cool idea and message and everything. And whether or not it worked out in the end, I think is irrelevant, because I mean, the main idea is going after something that you truly believe in and going after it 100% with conviction. And I think that Nick did that amazingly well. However, as these days started to go on and on, as it got closer to the end, and even up until now and recently, I feel like the tone has shifted from ignore the critics and go after your goals to, excuse my language, but fuck the critics, fuck the coaches, fuck the gatekeeper. It's corrupt. This is not fair, and screw this. And I think that's a very bad message to be spreading, and I really don't 100% agree with it, to be 100% honest. I do believe there is corruption in football. I believe there's corruption in everything, in all facets of life, but it's your attitude and the way you look at stuff. And if you see that as an opportunity, or you just kind of say, screw this, you know, it's not going to work because of other people, versus looking at yourself and saying, despite all this, I can still do it. And whether or not that, Nick, you want to become a pro or not, or if you want to still go after it. I know you're starting the Train Effective, or the Effective FC. I think that has the opportunity to be a very cool thing, but I just don't like that idea of screw this, there's a gatekeeper. I think this idea of the gatekeeper is 100% wrong. Yes, there's going to be coaches and people that are going to say no, and they have the opportunity to give you that contract, and they're going to say no, but they don't control your destiny. And I don't think calling them a gatekeeper to your goals is right. I think the attitude that should be had by players is it's extremely difficult to get a pro contract. It's extremely difficult to do this, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say no. And it's not fuck them, it's look, that timing wasn't just right. Maybe the opportunity wasn't just right there. Keep pushing, be persistent. It's going to work out. Reflect on your own self. What do I need to do? What do I need to improve? How can I approach this differently? What other opportunities exist? And I know you did a lot of that. I know there was a ton of reaching out, even going through LinkedIn. I watched, honestly, almost 50%, 75% of the videos. But lately, as it got into the 100th day and past the 100th day, I just feel like the attitude completely shifted into a negative one. And you preach a lot, and I like this, that you preach a lot about negativity and people bringing up in comment sections, just negative comments and saying, you know, you're shit at soccer, you can't do this, blah, 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 I think is pointless and it's ridiculous. And I never think that you should go after somebody's dreams or goals and say you can't do something, because that's been a big part of my life, is having a lot of people say I can't do stuff. Even, you know, I was told I can't play college soccer, I can't play semi-pro, I can't start on a D1 team, I can't play pro. Been told by, I think, 15 teams that cut me or rejected me. And I guess I'd never looked at them as gatekeepers. I just looked at the opportunity there at that moment wasn't right. The timing wasn't right. How do I approach this differently? What can I do different? And you have this amazing opportunity with 25, I don't know how many subscribers you have now, but 25,000, 25, maybe 30,000 plus people following you and looking up to you, and spreading this idea of this negative idea that it's corrupt, it's pointless, it's not fair, don't, you know, it really bothers me. yes, I mean, even like the topic that you brought up in your Football is Corrupt video, yes, there's open trials and tours and stuff that is very corrupt. I mean, anytime that you pay for an opportunity, you have to be a little wary. And yes, there's people that pay their way into clubs sometimes. Yes, there's people that get starts or pro contracts over other people where it really seems unfair and doesn't make sense. But to get that negative mindset and to think to yourself, it's corrupt, it's not going to work out for me, there's a gatekeeper that's blocking me, is just, I don't agree with that. I've been to open trials myself. I've done open trial at the Portland Timbers, open trial at the Vancouver Whitecaps. I got selected even for the Vancouver Whitecaps open trial. There was 2 players selected out of that open trial out of 300. I was incredibly excited, got brought into preseason. 2 days later I was cut. And I mean, whether or not that opportunity was like a scam just to promote that open trial, I won't know. But instead of thinking that it was corrupt, I was just looking at it as a positive outcome. Like I contacted Sacramento Republic and I told them I was being brought in by Vancouver Whitecaps too. And that prompted them to be like, well, are we missing something? Is this, why is Vancouver looking at Matt? And that opened up the door to Sacramento. In Sacramento, I didn't get a professional trial. And honestly, there were players that had the pro contract that I thought that I was the same level, if not better than. And I was confused as what was going on. And corruptness or whatever, I didn't even look at that. I just looked at it as, cream rises to the top. Keep working, keep going. And, eventually it does. And in college, I would look at people being drafted into the MLS and seeing their name up in lights, people that I thought, I played against and I played better than, and it was hard. But the whole time, like the mindset I think that should be had is, it's the timing of things and it's going to work out and you just have to keep working hard. And anytime you shift into, fuck them, they're holding me back, they hold my destiny, they're gatekeepers, screw this, it's unfair, I think that's the moment where you really fail. It's been bothering me and I don't want this message to be spread, and I don't want kids thinking that, having that mindset of I'm not going to make it as a pro because it's corrupt, or when they get cut from a team, their first instinctual reaction is to be like, that coach just, it's political, this coach just wants him because of this reason. And I know that does happen, but having that mindset is what kills you. And like I said, I was a big fan. I definitely, watched those videos. I was rooting for you, still am, hoping that the effective team works out. I'm hoping that, everything that you guys want to create is going to happen. But I've been biting my tongue for a while, not wanting to say something, but I think I should. And I think this message, as you continue to grow, I really don't want to see this message of there's a gatekeeper, stop by the gatekeeper, football is corrupt. I don't want that spread. You have a lot of people looking up to you, a lot of people following your journey, following what you're doing, and gaining inspiration from everything that you've done. And I think it's completely warranted. I just really hope that you don't continue to spread this negative mindset and negative outlook on professional soccer, professional football, and how everything's corrupt, and the reason why something doesn't happen is because of somebody else, and there's a gatekeeper blocking you. I hope that you don't infect people's minds with that mindset, because like you always preach, negativity is the worst thing in life, and there has to be people to say no. I mean, not everybody getting the pro contract or going on to do what you want to do in life is extremely rare, and it's extremely hard, and there's going to be tons of people to say no, because as you become not everybody, but so many kids want to be a professional soccer player, and there's only so many professional teams and professional spots available, and because of this there has to be a lot of no's given out. And it's how you deal with that rejection, or how you deal with stuff. And there's always 2 types of people, and there's that one type that immediately turns to negative thoughts and fuck this, fuck that team, fuck the coach. My goals are never going to work out because other people are blocking me. Football's corrupt. There's open trials. There's people paying their way in. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't true, but I feel honestly believe that's the amount of corruptness and people paying their way in is tiny compared to the actual fairness of the game. And I firmly believe in hard work is going to pay off and cream rises to the top. And I think that in the position that you're in, with so many kids looking up to you, I would hate to see more negativity spread. I think there's just already too much negativity in the world. So, I mean, it's a rant. I might keep this pretty raw. I haven't decided. So again, really looking forward to seeing what happens with Effective FC and all this stuff. Honestly, wishing you all the best. All the best. I 100% agree that there are too many critics, and I don't want to see your attitude shift into a critic about football and about chasing your goals. All right.